Hello again, EDF friends. Welcome back to my quick mission tips. This time I'd like to talk about mission 93 online or mission 94 offline, which is called Bloody Battle. It's a very fun mission, very crazy mission. Of course, these strategies are based on having limits on and having lower health. And also, I'm interested in hearing your ideas as far as what you like to do for this mission. As far as threats go, I would say honestly, believe it or not, the biggest threat is probably the ants. There's a big ant phase in the beginning part of this mission, and if you don't take care of them quickly, you'll lose your NPCs, and if you lose your NPCs, it makes this mission very tough. Second, there's going to be two large pillars, which are also probably the next biggest threat, and then last of all, laser cosmonauts will be dropped somewhere in the middle, and then big cosmonauts, mainly because they take so much time to kill that it's just very tough for your NPCs to last long if you don't take care of them. Alright, as far as weapons go, there's a lot of different options, honestly. As far as rangers, let's start with ranger here. I like to have, honestly, for your main source of damage would be the brute helicopter. You could take the EMC possibly to take out the pillar, but then you can jump out of the EMC once you start it, and then it'll keep firing for you. But honestly, I think that the brute is just better DPS, and you're gonna get better use for it on the cosmonaut. So I'd recommend the brute instead. Then as far as weapons go, honestly, this could be tough. If you're taking a vehicle, you won't be able to take the missile item, but if you have someone else that can do the high damage to the cosmonauts, you might want to take MEX Emerald with the missile item. Very good here. It takes care of the ants and it takes care of the cosmonauts. You can also take the Prominence, which can be decent for the big cosmonauts if you have it upgraded to have enough to have a quick reload time and a quick lock-on time at least. And you also could take a sniper rifle, the Ptarmigan, as well, but I think mainly your main source of damage is going to be the brute helicopter on this mission. Also an alternative, if you have someone at the spawn taking like air raider or so forth that can snipe and kill a bunch of enemies, you could always go forward as long as your friends don't take out the buildings. You could always take a shotgun and a healing bomb and the 200% sprint item, and you could always just run up front and kind of try and distract a group of the cosmonauts, and then when they get near buildings you can hop out and take out their leg and take them out. You could always just be a distraction up front, but it can be a little bit tough because there is rocket cosmonauts as well, but that is a possibility if you have someone that's at spawn doing a lot of damage up front. However, let's move on to Wing Diver now. As far as Wing Diver goes, Geist is very good here, of course. It's very good on cosmonauts, and they really can't handle it, so Geist and 200% shooting item could be good. The level 78, the Big Bang Core. Also, an alternative could be you could take the Raijin Sniper Rifle, either with the 200% or without it. Can be also decent. It's not the greatest sniper rifle because it takes 2 shots to kill the cosmonauts, one to take their armor off and another shot to take them out. And plus, you're probably gonna be overheating a decent amount with the sniper. So I don't know if I'd recommend it as a primary strategy. I think Geist would be better. You could also take a level 55 plasma great cannon, which is very good, and you can fly on top of a building and just shoot their feet and take out them from up top of the building. Of course, you have to be careful because the rocket cosmonauts can shoot your building down, but that's a possibility. Or you could also take the rapier, and you could go forward, kind of like with the ranger, but a lot easier, where you could go near buildings and try and lure them to the buildings, and once they get near, you could go close and take out their leg as they drop to the ground. You can stand in front of their body and use their body as cover and just take them out that way slowly and distracting up front while someone else is at the home, at the spawn, taking out the other enemies that are coming towards the NPCs. So that's also an alternative. But those are probably the main weapons for Wing Diver I'd recommend. As far as Air Raider goes, you need something to take out the ants, so you do need a Phobos, mainly just for that reason only. It's not too good on cosmonauts, honestly, but it's good on the ant phase. And then I would recommend for the cosmonauts, I think, honestly, the 150 and the 105, those together are probably your best attack, because it's very good to take out one at a time, and just you can take them out very quickly and then move on to the next one, then move on to the next one, and take out specific threats, especially like the laser guys later on. You can specifically pinpoint the ones you want. So those are the two weapons I'd recommend. If you have really low health, you could probably swap out one of those with a absolute bunker, so you're kind of safe in there, but honestly, just try and stay behind the NPCs, and I'd recommend those two weapons. And then Barga, I think, is your best vehicle here. Something you can do is, with the Barga, you can get into the Barga, put the Barga behind the NPCs, because you don't want the Barga in front of the NPCs, because the NPCs will kill the Barga when you're out of the vehicle. But you can put it behind the NPCs, and then you could get into the Barga and then get out of it. And then once you get in and get out of a Barga, it's considered a NPC. So the cosmonauts will start attacking the Barga, so it can be used as a distraction. Or of course you can get into the Barga and fight with it. But honestly, I don't like doing that unless it's like last resort, because you're not going to be doing as much damage as with your 105 and 150. From far away, but that's mainly like your last resort when you need to survive. You get into the Barga and survive and kill some enemies. As far as Fencer goes, he's not the greatest here, but he's not bad. I mean, I like 2 high altitude missiles, and then take a booster so you can jump to be a little bit mobile, and then take 2 NC cannons with the muzzle stabilizer so that you can snipe, because 2 NC cannons with the recoil item is very strong, and you can take out the pillar, you can take out the cosmonauts very quickly. I mean, you just have to be careful not to kill the NPCs with it, and then high altitude missiles will be for the ants. So that would be my recommendation for Fencer, honestly. So that would be for the weapon recommendations. Let's go ahead and explain the mission and show some strategies I like to do for this. Alright, let's get started here. As you see, it's a spawn here. You're going to have a bunch of NPCs. I'd recommend leaving them and not taking them, so they'll be spread out and they'll have a better chance of surviving longer. Plus, if you're air raider, it's easy to beacon yourself with them when they try and get in front of you. So it's just more dangerous to take them, honestly. So you're going to have about 5 colonists and 1 cosmonaut on both sides, 5 and 5. Then you're going to have a large rocket cosmonaut down the middle. Down the 2 middles, 1 there and 1 on this side, as well as a few other cosmonauts, normal cosmonauts. So I'd recommend honestly leaving the colonists, and I'd recommend focusing on the large rocket guy and some of the other cosmonauts here at the beginning, because the NPCs can take out the colonists very easily. And also, as always, I'm playing this offline with limits off so that I can do this quickly for you guys, but I haven't done this online many times. So once you kill enough enemies, the next phase is going to happen. So let me kill out a few of these cosmonauts here. And like I said, as well, if you want to do as ranger, you can always run forward and try and lure some of these cosmonauts to the side, take out their leg with the rapier, with wing diver, or with ranger shotgun, and then just try and lure some of them backwards. But that's a little bit more dangerous strategy. You're going to need someone up front by the NPCs fighting though the whole time. As well, because the NPCs are going to be pulling the cosmonauts constantly because they're always attacking them. And whoever attacks the enemy last, the enemy's going to go towards them. So you're not going to be able to pull all the cosmonauts to yourself as a ranger or a wing diver. Alright, so once you kill enough enemies, the next phase will happen here. Alright, so as you can see, the next phase, a bunch of ants are going to spawn here in the middle. So what I'd recommend doing is, if you're a wing diver, or if you're a ranger with the 200%, or if you're pretty much wing diver for the most part, or a ranger, you want to go forward and try and pull these ants away from the NPCs, which is easy to do. You just go near them and they'll follow you, and you can pull them all the way to the back of the map if you need to. But you want to get those ants away from the NPCs, because these will actually destroy the Nicks up front. They'll destroy all the NPCs. So of course, if you have a Fencer, you can use the high altitude missiles to try and kill them quickly. With Ranger, with the missile item, you can try and kill them quickly. With the MEX, Wing Diver with the Geist or the heavy cannons, you can kill them. But pretty much, you want to focus on these very quickly. Air Raider with the Phobos, because these enemies will destroy them very quickly and make your mission a lot harder for the end phase. And you want all those NPCs alive. So this is kill based here, so you can kind of elongate the wave if you want to. You can have someone go forward that's faster, and kind of that way you can kill all the cosmonauts, or at least most of them, and then just kill the rest of the ants when you're ready to go to the next phase. Alright, the next phase is very, very tough. There's going to be 4 laser cosmonauts that are going to be dropped on the buildings up front, and then there's going to be 2 clusters of 4 large cosmonauts, 1 right here on this side and 4 more over here, and then a large number of normal cosmonauts, probably like 10 or 15. So pretty much this is just mainly a DPS check. You want to try and snipe them out as quickly as possible, and just take out, I would prefer taking out the laser cosmonauts first, try and focus on them first. As you'll see, they're going to drop either on the buildings if the buildings are up, or just on the ground if they're not. So it can be a little bit tougher to kill them if they get dropped on the ground without a building, but regardless, I would try and focus on them first. There's going to be 1, on the left side, one in the middle, another one in the middle, and then one on the right side. He's still on the building up there. So I'd recommend probably going for the laser guys first, and then I'd recommend probably going for the other small guys next, because they're easier and quicker to take out. So it's just easier to get them taken out, and the big guys aren't as threatening. They're just more of a distraction. So that's what I'd recommend doing until you get to the next phase.
Teleportation anchor is dropping down.
Alright, the next phase is going to be 2 teleportation anchors. They're going to drop down on the left and the right. So the right side spawns ants and tadpoles, the left side spawns spiders and tadpoles. So of course, if you have the Brute helicopter, if you have the NC cannons or air raider or whatever weapon you have, I'd recommend focusing on the pillars first to get them out as quickly as possible. So you can survive, because these spiders and ants will tear up the NPCs pretty quickly. So you want to try and do as best you can to kill the spiders and kill the pillars as fast as possible. Alright, the last phase. The last phase is going to be 1 ship that drops 3 large cosmonauts behind the 2 pillars, which would be 2 large flamethrower guys and 1 rocket guy, and then 2 ships that drop 3 cosmonauts in front of the pillars, right on spawn where you spawn at, so it can kind of rough. And on top of that, there'll be 2 mortar frogs, 2 on each side. So what I recommend doing on this phase is grab a set of NPCs if you see any near you, and focus on priorities first. If the pillars are still up, focus on pillars first. Get those out of there. And then after that, then I'd recommend taking out any small cosmonauts that you can see from here. And then if you see that the NPCs are starting to die pretty quickly, and you're gonna be in trouble here soon, then I'd recommend just going to the back of the map, and then keep fighting, of course, the whole time, and then just circle around the outside of the map, just around the edge of the map. Just keep going around and just kiting them around as they come down the main roads, and just fight them until they're all dead. Because most of the time, not most of the time, but a good chance is that the NPCs are going to be dead and you're going to be by yourself. So just be prepared to move when you need to. But as long as you take out the priorities first, like I said, make sure the pillars are dead. Then you know, colonists, small cosmonauts, work on them because they're quick to take out. And then last of all, the big guys. And then just circle around the outside of the map, and you should be okay. You'll be able to use the buildings around the perimeter. They still should be up, and you can use those to help survive as you're finishing off the last guys. Of course, if you have a Barga, you know, you could always just take the Barga, go forward, kill some of them. You know, not too bad. Or any of the other classes, of course, they'll be faster. They can always move around the outside of the map. But yeah, it's mainly about keeping the NPCs alive early on in the mission, like from the ant phase and from the laser cosmonauts. And if you can keep them alive for the last phases, then you'll be doing a lot better. And of course, killing those pillars as fast as possible, because those ants and spiders will kill the NPCs very, very quickly. So it wouldn't be a bad idea, once you kill the pillars, to try and focus on these spiders or ants that are alive still. Because those will kill them actually faster than the cosmonauts, it seems like. But yeah, that's how I like to do this mission, so I hope this was helpful to you. Like I said, I'm interested in your ideas as well, so please let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up or comment below. It helps more people find the channel. And remember, EDF doesn't leave a man behind, ever. And if you're interested in ways to help support the channel financially, there's a join button next to the subscribe button, or watching a few ads helps financially too, and it's very much appreciated. Hope to see you next time. Thanks a lot.